from me and Bagpuss. So it's Saturday. I hope you've had a lovely week. This time last week I was about to go to Edinburgh and it was just brilliant. As expected, I really had a great weekend, and although I was really tired, I had that thing of, just walking around and thinking, I wonder if everyone else in Edinburgh is experiencing this in the same way and just feeling completely exhausted. And I don't think most people do, but I look back on most of the times in my life when I've been to places and I think I've been tired a lot. So that's something I'm really trying to work on at the moment, and try to get to a place where I'm not tired. But it's hard because I think some of it is probably down to hormones, although I think that's also an excuse. I think I sort of always say, oh, it's this or it's that. And I have really been trying to look at sort of work and whether there are other options, and really quite excitingly exploring other options for work, but so far nothing's come to fruition. So I do wonder if I'm going to end up in teaching and education forever, because at my age it may be too late to move into anything else, but we will see. And I may need to look, I think, at looking at possibly reducing the amount I work in teaching, which I don't even know if that's possible because I'm a senior leader, and these are things I probably need to think about. Last night I had a complete and utter meltdown, and I wrote a blog, and I'm just going to read it. I wanted to make a video last night, but I knew that I would come on and just do a Sinead O'Connor crying and everyone would worry about me, and I wasn't. I was distraught, and I was sobbing at one point, and my husband was quite sort of confused, and I was just like, I'm just fine and I'm tired and I'm just listening to something sad, and actually that was what it was. But I was just overwhelmed by just feelings. So it was called Damn You and Thank You, Michael Bublé. An ADHD moment. I feel wretched. Everything this week has gone well. I've made great progress at work. I spoke at an event last night for Education Scotland as a neurodivergent leader. I have loved teaching my classes. I have 2 children and a husband who are mostly happy and healthy, and who make me immeasurably proud on a daily basis. But I am feeling that wretchedness that comes with having been super efficient, hyper busy and hyper focused at work all week, and that comes with not having allowed myself to relax. I'm fed up with having ADHD. I'm fed up with being in charge and in control. I don't want to be a neurodivergent role model tonight. I want to wail and swear and be sad and cross and angry. And I'm so very, very tired. So Michael Bublé's new album has sent me slightly over the edge. Damn you and thank you, Michael Bublé. Normal service will resume tomorrow. And that's what I wrote last night, and I ended up just going to bed really early, and I did sleep, but I did wake up early, and so I've been for a walk. I've got my physical kind of stuff done, which is good because that means my brain can now not worry all day about whether I'm going to get anything physical done. And I have things to do. I need to edit a radio show for Teach Out Radio, which is a fiddly and going to say boring task. It involves me sitting and doing editing. But the plus side is I get to listen to the interview that I did with an amazing person talking about well-being. So I think once I get into that and I hear that, that will be fine. Again, I've got child plans to write for work, which are fiddly and boring. But again, I know that my brain can do it because it's about these wonderful children that I'm supporting and getting it right for them. So those are the hooks for those things. But I'm a bit gutted that it's a sunny day and I've got this stuff to do. Other people would say don't do it. I'm really struggling with the dystonic stuff, the having to pretend that we're in a system where we can work 35 hours a week, but we can't if we're going to do it properly, and therefore do we not do it properly. And I'm wondering if there are other ways of working that mean that you feel that less, but I do also know that I feel that, and that I've worked in jobs before as well, out of education, where I still felt nothing was right and I wasn't doing enough. And I know that that's common to many people, but the extremeness of that is ADHD. So I'm going to do some more work today on just not overthinking the stuff, getting on, doing, planning, and then having some time though to be able to just realise that this is what I'm doing. Just really sad, really, really sad as well about just hearing the drummer from the Foo Fighters, but also Alanis Morissette's amazing songs, and has passed away at the age of 50. Not someone I even can, say I knew or thought or knew very well or knew much about, but just to die at 50 and to have been part of creating that just incredible music is just, that's really upset me. But it's ridiculous because it's not someone that I knew, or so there's that. But these things, but what I need to do is focus on the things that need to be done, and not allow my focus to be drawn away by the other things that want to hijack me, but also allow time for some feelings, because otherwise that happens, that they just catch up on me. And the last thing I just wanted to say is I've been thinking a lot about that idea of if a flower is shrivelling, you deal with the ground and the landscape around it. You don't try and fix the flower. I do get that, but what happens if you can't control the landscape around you? If you're the flower, the one thing you can control is the flower. So I'm thinking that much as I'd like to wait for people to change the landscape, or to find a landscape that's more trauma-informed and kind than perhaps the world of education is, I also know that I've got to keep working on this flower. And also, just to end on a song, that song that everywhere you go you take the weather with you. So I know I could move into another environment, but I'd still take this weather, and this weather is often created by my ADHD. So that's it. And I am pretty emotional still. I can hear that in my voice. I'm not doing the calm, collected professional. I think I was just doing such a lot of that last week. So I'm not being the calm, collected professional this weekend. I'm just being me. So thank you for listening. If you've listened, if you've in any way empathised, I suggest you look into why you're maybe feeling like you do, but just also just acknowledging that maybe you feel like you do, because there's a lot of things that might be making you feel like you do, and it's okay, and you can still live in the world, and you can still, I hope, have times of joy and happiness and connection and that. So lots of love, and don't worry, be happy. Okay, bye for now.